Hello, this is Sal. In today's video, we will be building this really small network and get to know, the components and how to configure the PC, how to enter the IP address for the PC, for the switch and router, and the interfaces, and how we will be able to ping from a PC to another PC. For now, we have on PCA, it still did not configure the static IP address for PCA. As you can see here, it's 192.168.1.2. This is the PCA's IP address, static IP address, on the network of 192.168.1.0. So for the IP address of 192.168.1.2, and the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, and the gateway for this PC will be this interface on the router of 192.168.1.1. This is how the traffic is to be routed from this network to this network through this gateway, the default gateway of the router, because the function for the router is to route the traffic between two subnets. And so now for the gateway of 192.168.1.1. So we are done configuring the IP address configuration for PCA. Now for PCB, which is the IP address of 192.168.2.2, 192.168.2.2. This is the IP address we are giving to PCB, and the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, and the gateway for PCB is this side of the router, this interface of 192.168.2.1. So this is how PCB, through this interface, how it can reach this side, this network, how to route the traffic from PCB from this network to this network through this gateway. Now, if we try from PCA to ping PCB, we open the command prompt, type the word ping, and then enter the IP address of PCB of 192.168.2.2, and for sure the ping will fail. Why? Because we still did not configure the interfaces for the router, because in order to route traffic between these two networks, the gateway for PCB should be on or configured here on the router to reach PCA on this side, or from PCA to this side of the network. Now let's run some commands on the router. Here we type enable, and then we want to give the router a name, configure terminal, and now we type host name, and for example I want to choose the name like RT1, or whatever name you want, router 1, and just type the command hostname and the name you want to configure for the router. So now we chose the name router 1, and this is how it's showing the host name and how we can identify this device. Now we want to disable DNS lookup to prevent the router from attempting to translate incorrectly entered commands. So the way how to do it is, from the configuration mode, we type no IP domain lookup. And this is all what we need to do. No IP domain lookup. Now, I want to assign the password as CCNA as a privileged encrypted password. So for the enable mode, either we have to type in the password without being encrypted, or type the word secret for the password, it will be encrypted. And we are choosing the secret password of CCNA for enable mode on the router. And now I will assign Cisco as the console password and enable login. So now from the configuration mode, we type in line. We have options to choose auxiliary, console, TTY, VTY, but we want to configure for the console, and the console 0. So now we are in the configuration mode for the line, which is console. Now here we have few options, one of which is to configure the password. As we said, the password we want for the console of Cisco and for login. Now also we want to configure the V2Y. We will assign Cisco as the V2Y password and enable login. Here we type in line. We choose V2Y. We have lines from line 0 to 16. There are 16 lines, but from 0 is counted from 0 to 15, which is 16 lines. Enter. And the password we want for these lines is Cisco and for login. So now we configure the IP addresses for the PCs. We configure line console 0 and the V2Y on the router. Now we will work on the banner message, a message of the day for anybody is logging into this PC, to this router. This is a warning message for unauthorized access is prohibited. From the configuration mode, we type in banner, and here we have for login or MOTD. MOTD stands for message of the day. We open it with a character like this. This is the beginning of our message. And authorized access is prohibited. And end it with this sign, and then hit enter. Now, and from here, show run. Let's see what we did so far. This is our banner message. Unauthorized access is prohibited. And here for the line V2Y from 0 to 15. And for the console with the password of Cisco, the password of Cisco. Now if we type in this command, in again, and type in, now it's asking us for a password. We typed in the password, type in enable, and as you can see, we have this message which we enter the banner message, the message of the day, and authorized access is prohibited. And the enable password of CCNA. Now let's configure the IP addresses of the interfaces of for the router. So configure terminal. Now for the interface of I will go to options here to show the port labels. Here we have, click on the router. We have this interface facing the PCB. It's called Gigabit Ethernet 00, and this interface facing the switch, which is Gigabit 01. So now let's configure this interface. So enter face of Gigabit Ethernet 00. Now the IP address of this interface of 192.168.2.1 with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. This interface of the router is this PC's gateway to the other networks. Now let's configure this interface, the other interface exit, interface, gigabit Ethernet 01, and the IP address of 192.168.1.1 with the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. This interface of the router is the gateway for the switch and also the gateway for the PCA here. So PCA, if wants to connect to ping PCB, these will to configure for the switch, the router's interfaces. But now it is not, the ports are still not open, they are still shut. So configure terminal. Now go back to the interface of gigabit 01, the interface facing switch 1 and PCA here. Notice the color here is still red. A minute or the second we type no shut or no shutdown. And now we open the port on this interface. And let's do the same on this interface. And notice here it's saying line protocol on interface gigabit Ethernet 01, change state to up, this interface here. Let's do the same on this interface, interface gig 00. And notice the second I type no shut down or no shut and hit enter, now the port is open on that side of interface. Now if we type, can we ping from PCA to PCB? Let's find out. Now ping from PCA to PCB. And sure enough, we can. Why? Because the gateway for PCA here is open. The router now will be able to route the traffic from this network to this side of the network. And PCB also can, because its gateway is open now, just type ping 192.168.1.2. And we have connection between PCB and PCA after we configured the interfaces on the router and opened the ports. And now the gateway for this PC and PC can transmit or move traffic from this side of the network to the other network. Now, after we've done all of this configuration, we can to save what we did so far, copy, running config to the startup config and hit enter, and then to confirm it, hit enter again, or either way, in the real world, you will be using this command WR and then hit enter. So everything is saved to the startup configuration. So in case we lose power, lose connection, lose whatever, when we boot up the router again, we will have these configurations saved in on the router's database. So now when we type show version on the router, let's find out what is this router. Now type show version. As you can see here, the name of the OS here, this is the flash 0, the image file name, this is the image installed on this device or this router. This is the system image file is this, and here it's gonna show us about we have 2 gigabit Ethernet interfaces, which they are gigabit 0/0 and 0/1. The dynamic RAM configured is 64 bits here, and the non-volatile memory or RAM are 255 kilobytes, and this is how much RAM we have on the system compact flash. And this is the information where you need to get to know the device you are working on. And this is in case you have any technical issue. This is how to contact Cisco, and to the tech support, this is how to reach them. So this is from the command show version. It will tell you all the information you need about the device you are working on, and even the same with the switch. We will do the same here. We still have the name of the switch is a switch enable. And now configure terminal, config T. Now host name, I want to give it the name of SW-1. And as you can see, it changed the name from switch to SW1. Or you can give it whatever name you want, as long as when you type the host name from the configuration mode, you can type, for example, switch 1 like this, or whatever name you want. Now from here, let's type show version to get to know this version of this switch. Here is the version of this switch is 12.2, and this here is telling us 63488 kilobytes of a flash simulated non-volatile memory, the motherboard assembly, and everything you need to know about this. The version ID is v.7.2. The model number is this for this switch, and here the power supply number, everything you need to know about your device when you type the command show version. And this is your switch. Any information you want to know about the device, by typing the command show version, and this will tell you everything you need to know about your device. Now let's get back to the router and type this command, show IP route. C stands for connected. So this router is connected to this network of 192.168.1.0. This router is connected to this network here, directly connected through this gigabit Ethernet 01, and also connected C to the other network of 192.168.2.0, which is this network here, and it is via this interface of gig 00. You can type the command of show IP route connected, and it will tell you just what's connected to your device. It's connected to this network and to the other network, and they are with a /24 subnet mask, and they are connected via this interface, gigabit Ethernet 01 on this side, this network, and the other network via this interface of gig 00. And now, for example, we want to just to show just this interface. The command is show interface gigabit 00. Just this interface here. This will tell us a lot about this interface. The gig, it is 00 is up. The line protocol is up and it is connected. And everything we need, it will tell us about the speed, full duplex, the media type. It's telling us here also about the MAC address. This is the MAC address here, or burned in address. And the internet, how other devices will know this device is through this interface, is through this IP address, or this interface of gigabit 00. This interface, this is how this device see it, through this interface. And if we will do the same on the other side, it will give us this interface. So let's do it. Show interface gigabit 01. It has a different MAC address than the other one, burn-in address. This is the MAC address for this interface here, and this is how any network on this side sees this interface with this IP address of 192.168.1.1, and it is telling us about the speed, about the media type connected to it, RJ45. So this is a useful command, and it's showing here it's up, LAN protocol is up, and it is connected. So everything you need to, and another command here, show IP interface brief. This is on the router. This is giving us a brief about the interfaces. For the interface of gigabit Ethernet 00, the IP address on this interface of 192.168.2.1, this interface here, and it's we configured it manually. The status is up, and the protocol is configured on that interface is up. So everything, this is how to configure a small network, how to connect a PC, or to configure the IP address configuration, how to configure the interfaces on the router, the passwords for enable passwords, and for the line console 0 or VTY, and how to configure a host name for the router and the switch. Everything in this lab, you will find it if you download the documents and the description. You can do this lab on your own. Just download the packet tracer file and the walkthrough document, and just do it, and you will be able to do it from scratch. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you like this video, if you learned a tip or two, subscribe to my channel and share the video, and give me a thumb up. I'll see you soon on my next video. Have a nice day.